Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is Matters Monday because art matters. Your imagination can change the world. This is written by Neil Gaiman and illustrated by Chris Riddell. This is a small book that we are going through and we're coloring the pages of them. This is not a coloring book. The pages of these books are not not created to be colored. So they are more of a reading book texture and thickness. So today's page that we're doing is this one here with the mama and her little one reading a book. It says people who cannot understand each other, cannot exchange ideas, cannot communicate. The simplest way to make sure that we raise literate children is to teach them to read and to show them that reading is a pleasurable activity. So we're going to color these two wonderful little peoples, the mama and her little one. I'm going to switch on over into the close-up camera so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to grab a couple of these so that I can try to color without holding the book apart. All right. Just so I can not get a cramp in my hand. All right, so that's not helping matters much, so let's do it this way. I have ways. I just got to remember to undo it afterwards. All right. There, that'll work. That way I'm only holding down one page. All right, so I've got the Prisma Premier colored pencils here. This one is grade lavender. And I really like the grade lavender for my shadows on skin tones. It does give a really good shadow without really darkening the skin. So I'm just going through and putting her shadows in. I hope everyone had a good weekend. Unfortunately, it is Monday. And my body is telling me so. Yeah. It is what it is. I can't say no more. But we picked a new picture to color this week, so we will be coloring the puppy dog with all the biker gear on. Just trying to decide here what is skin. I'm going into the fingertips here. And the edges here where they're shadows. Where the fingers come together. Now we're going to go into the little girl's face. And there's going to be a shadow from the book. Up under her hair. Looks like she is right into that book. She looks all happy and involved. I love reading. I used to read so much when I was a child. Not as much now, but I used to read a lot as a child. Now we're going to go in with some nectar, if I can get it out of the package here. And we're going right over top of that grade lavender and just extending it out a little bit. And I'm not pressing very hard at all. Just layering that on. I have learned a few things this month using my Prismas. You don't have to smush them, you can layer them. But to finish them off, it is always better to give them a bit of a smush. Just to combine them all. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing and not the back of my hand. I noticed the other day that when I did this one last Monday, all you could see was the back of my hand. Sorry about that. Sometimes you just gotta get right in there. And don't forget her little ear. Alright. And then we're going to take Peach. No, we're going to take Deco Peach first. And I know these are very, very small little pictures. Now we're just going to extend that nectar out with the peach. Yeah, this is Deco Peach. Just going right over top of it, giving a little bit of a smush as we're layering, and just bringing that out into the highlight area. Like so. Doing the same thing with the little one's face. Make sure you don't miss the ears. Almost missed Mama's ears. Almost. And now we're going to use the light peach for the rest of it. We're just going to bring that all together with that light peach. And hopefully you guys can see it. A little bit of this nectar on her nose and under her nose. And then Same thing for the little one. And then we're going to take this electric blue here. And we're going to do her eyes. Just because. They're very, very small, so you can't see it very well, but it's there. Alright, now we're going to do Mama's hair. And we're going to start with, let's move these over here. I'll put them back when I'm done. Start with nice light brown. So I think ginger. I don't really want beige sienna. I don't want peach beige either. This one here, I think. Yeah, I'm going to go in with some light umber as our base coat. So basically what this wonderful page is saying is that reading is absolutely important to our children. Teaching our children how to be functional people in society. We do need to teach them to read. We need to teach them to write. You know, because I know and I completely understand that 9 times out of 10 everything is done in typing or on the computer or on the cell phone. And not so many things are done with just a book and a pen. So teaching them how to do that is starting to become a lost art. And if we don't want that sort of thing to disappear, we've got to start teaching it to our children. Okay, so we've got some light color there. This is light umber. Now we're going to go in with this one here, which is chestnut. We're just going to do a few flicks in the back area there. Just trying to follow that hair. And her hair is all willy-nilly all over the place. I wonder why. Because she's a mama, that's why. Sometimes all we can do is a messy bun, especially with little tiny ones. That was my favorite time, was sitting down and reading with the boys, because then I just got to sit for a minute. Never lasted long with the youngest, but he didn't like reading very much. The oldest just loved reading. He loved reading to you and loved being read to. So now we're going to go in with a darker color, and we're going to go in with some espresso. I'm going to sharpen this really sharp so that we can get some good flicks going. those hair flicks in there. That's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to actually take this one off. It's catching on my watch. It's driving me nutty. Get the shadow in the back here. Okay, and then we'll just put a few up in here. There we go. And then we're going to take our lightest color again, which is our light umber, and we're just going to go over it very gently, making sure not to smudge too much. There we go. Now for the little one's hair, we're going to go a little lighter. So we're going to go with yeah, we're going to start with this one, which is yellow ochre. And then we're going to go in with this one here, which is a little bit of goldenrod. Going to sharpen it up first. We're just going to follow a few of these curls. Not going to cover them all, but we are going to give her a little bit of a amber undertone in her hair, especially with the curls. It's hard to... There we go. Now we're going to take this one here, which is sepia. I think sepia is a little too dark. Let's do this one. We're going to go in with a little bit of artichoke first. Not worried too much about the green undertone, because I will be adding a little bit more brown to it. This is just to knock back a little bit of that yellow. Not that I didn't want it there, but you know how little kids' hair is. It's all different colors. Alright, now we're going to go in with chocolate. I'm going to sharpen this one up really good, hopefully. And give her some brown tones in there with a little bit of a red undertone, just like I did with the orange over top of the yellow. And we're just following all the craziness. And then we're going to take our yellow ochre and we're just going to fill it in a little. Like that. And then for Mama's shirt, I'm going to use cobalt turquoise for the shadowy areas. So back here. Now I assume that was a girl, but it could be a boy. Could be. And I'm going to take the dark chocolate and do his or her eyebrows. And same with hers. Put a bit of shadow on her shirt here. From the book. Alright, and then we're going to take light aqua. Just going to come off that line a little. And then come in with a light green. Blend it all together. I don't know why, but I like that combination. Just stands out in my brain. Alright, gonna go back in with a little bit more of the darker tone here. Just feathering it into that green without taking it over. This time I'm just going over the center area where I feathered in that other color. There we have it. There's the shirt. Now for the book. The book. Let's do let's do a pink book. We'll do a pink outside and maybe. Let's do a yellow back and a pink front. Or a yellow front and a blue back where the airplane is. Well, decisions. Let's do this part here in yellow. So I've got canary yellow here. And I'm just doing the edges and the shadow area before it gets into where the airplane is. So I'm going to be doing that in some blue. And then we have some lemon yellow. Just gonna and then we're gonna take eggshell. We're just gonna add that eggshell in. Giving it a little bit of contrast. Blend that in with the lemon yellow. We're going to use the eggshell on the pages here. And then we're going to get some blue. So we've got sky blue light. And I know we have a sky blue in here somewhere. What's that one? That's periwinkle. Blue violet. Nope. Indigo. Okay, so let's take this one, and this one. Okay, so let's start with Cerulean blue. In the shadow areas around her fingers and on the edges. Because there's going to be a shadow there. Now this is a picture, so this airplane is not 3D. It is a 2D picture, so we don't need to add shadow to it. Now we're going in with slate, blue slate. Now because she is 3D, there's a shadow under her hand, under her fingers. Alright. So I went in with the blue slate. Now we're going in with the sky blue. I'm just going to blend that all in. And I think I'm going to do the airplane red, because that was my son's favorite color. Especially when he was little. He used to be attracted to really red books. So we're going to take some Crimson Lake, some Raspberry, and some Scarlet Lake. So we're going to start with the Raspberry. Now the artist that drew this would have drawn it with the appropriate shadows. So we're just going to come off of those shadows. So we just used the Crimson Lake and then the Raspberry, and now I'm going in with the Scarlet Lake. Up to the cockpit area. Which in these little tiny planes is just a little bubble type thing. So we'll add some blue there. A little bit of skin tone for the little person in there. Make sure I keep those shadows going there. Then we're going to take the yellow for the propellers. And this blue-green, light aqua for the cockpit thing. Alright, now for the other side. Make sure I get everything. Alright, now for the other side. We've got a little panda bear, so let's do this green. And we're going to start with grass green. And we're just going in between the panda bear and the edges here. We'll worry about the book name after. Not sure. I'm not sure what's what here, so we're just gonna give it some color. Now I'm gonna go in with some dark green. her little fingers there. Just going to follow those little lines. Like I said, I'm not sure what's going on here, so spine of the book. And then we're going to take our black and our white. There's our white and there's our black. And we're going to do as the brain is telling me to do. Some sort of funky panda type of thing. I'm not quite sure how it's growing into this, but okay. And then take our white. And then blend it all together here. We're almost done with it. And then we just got the background to do, and I think her lips. Sorry about that. Alright, now we're going to take our black. We're just going to follow the word up there. I don't know if that's correct, but that's what we're going to do. Now we're going to take some of that red, and we're just going to do a little bit of raspberry on her lips. Like so. And I think we're going to do a little bit on her fingernails too. There we go. And then the background. Let's do a little bit of let's go with a little bit of mineral orange and then a little bit of jasmine. So the mineral orange in this area here. I'm just going really light. And then we're going to come into it with the jasmine. And go up the wall. Now remember that this book is not meant to be colored in, so a lot of times it will pick up your color. And you should always keep a page behind what you're coloring so that you don't end up transferring the ink onto the next picture or the pencil onto the next picture. Like for example, once I'm finished coloring this one, when I go to color the one on the back side here, I will be using the paper in between these two pictures as to keep it from transferring all of this color over onto this picture. Once again, going through with the mineral orange and just bringing it up into that yellow a little bit. And taking the jasmine and just building that color up. Lightening it as I get closer to what I assume to be the light source because of that shadow. And there we have it. Alright, so my goodness, the amount of pencils that you use on such a small picture is amazing. I just used like 20 pencils on this picture. Alright, so I'm going to undo. There we go. And I'm going to bring it over. Actually, I'm going to do a little tiny bit of blending. Now, I'm not going to press too hard. I'm just going to blend it enough to get rid of any harsh lines. That shouldn't be there. There's not enough pigment on the page to blend out all of the lines, but there is enough to move it around a little bit. The one thing about the Caran d'Ache blender is if you don't have enough pigment on the page, it's just going to lift up the pigment, especially if you press hard. So if you just press really lightly, it'll just move it around just a little bit, and that's all we want it to do. Just going to blend their faces a little bit. And there we have it. I'll switch you over to the main camera here so you can see a little better. And there we have our mama and child reading. It says people who cannot understand each other cannot exchange ideas, cannot communicate. The simplest way to make sure that we raise literate children is to teach them to read and to show them that reading is a pleasurable activity. And that is Art Matters by Neil Gaiman, illustrated by Chris Riddell. Thank you all very much for joining me. I hope you have enjoyed the picture today, as well as the page of reading. Of course, next week we will be doing this one here. Again, thank you all very much for watching. Tomorrow will be not your typical Tuesday, and we have possibly a lesson on mirrored glasses. All right, guys, until then, thank you all very much for watching. You have a fantastic day. Until next time, always remember to relax, color, and stay safe. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until then, bye-bye for now.